Well, let's get into game 1 of our best of 11. I don't even think I can make the overlay say best of 11. Yeah, I like don't think I have a way. I think I can make it go up to best of 9. So I might keep it at best of 1 because that's closer to best of 11. So, you know, fun stuff here. As we get into game number 1 of this best of 11, spawning on 2,000 atmospheres in the lower left-hand corner, it is Quanta. Going by Stell in-game. The in-game name is going to be different for both players just to keep us on our toes. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, the Karen of StarCraft, it is Meomaika. Should be a fun little PVT. Again, OSC points have been put on the line for this. 177.5 of them. I don't know how they came up with the 0.5 number, but that's what they went with. So the winner will take that from the loser. So that's kind of cool. It's a like something we don't see very often, but if you're trying to bump up the OSC points list, it's a good way to do it. Not to mention, there will be a $5 prize per map. If you guys would like to support OSC, who's putting all this content on for us today, 24 hours of StarCraft content. This is a fundraiser for the World Championships. Check out the Matcherino. 177.5 is Quanta all in. Oh, man. Quanta going for the all in. You'll love to see it. And I love the fake bunker rush. What is this? Was that for the Reaper to go in? That was like so silly. Well, Mio clears it with some early lings. Because, of course, it's Meomaika, so it's going to be a pool first here. Love to see it. Quanta does have double barracks, but it's going to go up to, it looks like 3 Reapers. So this looks like the double racks in the wall build, but instead of in the wall, the racks are in the main. Which I feel like is maybe a good idea against somebody like Meomaika, who might be doing some crazy pressures and you might prefer to try to defend the main. Oh, but these early lings going to sneak in here. Won't be able to get up there, but should be able to get some damage done on the SCVs. Reaper's not too far away. SCV, stay alive. Oh, he goes down. Well, it's a nice kill. The map pool is Ladder Map Plus. This is Ladder Map Plus. It's an extended map pool. OSC has been doing extended map pools for a while. I actually don't remember what the new maps were that were just added. I saw the post recently. I looked at it, and like most information, it immediately left my brain the moment I looked away. So, I believe 3 maps were added on top of the 9 from the ladder. 2,000 Atmospheres is one of them. Also, Ancient Cistern and Gressfon. Thanks, Jordan. Jordan, a professional. The information does not leave his brain immediately upon entering it. Happy to see 2,000 Atmospheres again, though. That's a little bit further away from the memory, so it's nice to have it back. You know what I really want to see, though, is Romanticide. That is one of my favorite maps. Okay, I'm going to fix this overlay. While we're kind of chilling for a little bit, I say, as a bunch of links show up. But there's a bunker, so I think we'll be okay. So forgive me for a moment while I try to find where I put overlay stuff. Oh, man. Okay. Hold, please. Lings catching Reapers. I'm just going to follow these Lings. All right, there we go. Look at us. Look at us go. That's called production. The Lings will all go down. They trim off a few of those Marines, but just little trades here, little trades there. Killing the Reapers is nice. 1-1 on the way for Mia, which is pretty seldomly seen. I rarely see double Evo upgrades for Lings against Terran. It's kind of funny. This feels old school. It almost feels like something you might have seen on 2000 Atmospheres back in the day. I don't know. Romanticide received a nomination. Maybe the next map pool will get that one. That was in the map pool for a long time, so people might not might not want to see it again. It's also a bit of a weirder map. It's not that weird. It's still pretty standard, but it does have its quirks. Double medevac drop here from Quanta. Oh, no, no, the door. Oh, no, the door. Oh, and Ling's getting on that bunker, getting on these reinforcements. The door was not closed. Oh, and just like that, Meomaika takes game number 1. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just getting those Lings in is enough. Meomaika takes game 1, wins $5, and is one step closer to earning those extra OSC points. Now we're doing loser picks the map. Yeah, there's so many maps to choose from here. All right, we're going to site Delta for game number 2. As soon as our players are ready, we will get going. Go it is. That was the OSC season. Yes, that Eddie's referring to. No, Romanticide was in the latter. It was like 2020, 2021. I think it was in that period. I was on there for a while. I was on there for 2 map pools. Back in the day when they didn't just trade out the entire map pool. All right, let's get into game 2 of this best of 11. I'm going to keep saying best of 11 because the screen can't say it, so I want to make sure that everybody knows how many possible games we'll get today. Winner will take it at... How many wins do you need? Oh, I can do the math. 6? Right? I'm bad at this. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Site Delta. Up 1-0. It is Meomaika. I'm going to have to change the names on screen. Hold on just a moment. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner is going to be Quanta. All right. Let's just do this real quick. Wow. Live production. Wow. Fun fact, the name overlay like this, GSL does that. So they can have, like, you know, whatever they want on the screen. But because of the way they do it, they never change. They never flip it so that the named person is on the right side of the map, which is so frustrating for me. This has been a constant thing in GSL for as long as I've been paying attention to that specific fact. So at least like 6 years, but I'm sure it's been the whole time GSL's been running. Because you can flip the names so that they match up with the side of the map the player is on. GSL just doesn't do that because they have that overlay. And I don't like it. can make it tough to follow sometimes. I'm sorry I just told everybody that, and now you guys won't be able to not pay attention to it either, but just have to share that with you sometimes. Now, Quanta did go for the SCV scout to see what's going on. Sees that Mio again went for a later hatchery. We again have an earlier pool. Maybe try to be annoying with a handful of lings here. But I think it's just kind of how Mio likes to play, and maybe Mio's a little bit worried about proxy racks, that kind of thing. But it looks like Quanta's going to play a little safer this time. This is going to be a Hellion opener, it looks like. Honestly, the GSL thing is it's only really noticeable when you're trying to look at, like, the information, supplies and stuff. Because if you're like, oh, how many, like, what's the army supply of this person? And you just glance down, you're going to assume the person on top of the map is on top. At least I do. It could also be a factor of the fact that I always flip it when I'm casting, so I know exactly where to look every time. But, yeah. Just always seemed a little silly to me. But I also have a lot of strong opinions on overlays. The Pro 2020 overlay, which is what we all use now for casting StarCraft, I don't like it. It's grown on me a bit, though, I will say. I'm getting much more used to it. But I still like the Game Hard overlay better. Shout out to the Game Hard overlay. And to the people who put together overlays. Ollie and Ryan Shutter, actually, who works at Stormgate now. I know Stormgate's going to have good overlays. But right now, I'm more concerned with what Quanta is doing, because that is a fusion core. And the Viking's going to come out and push this Overlord away, which I will say, that was the hallmark of battlecruiser builds back in the day. I have not seen a BC opener in a long time. But here we go. Quanta going for the old school BC opener. This was very popular right when the BC was changed to, like, move while shooting. Insanely good change for it. I don't remember when that was exactly. Maybe like 2018? 2017? These openings were really popular against Zerg. Zerg players got really good at defending them, but it's been a while, so Meomaika might not be fully ready for it. There's no Spore Crawlers just yet, but what there are Hydras on the way. And this is a Meomaika special right here. This is something we're not likely to get from any other Zerg players. 5-minute Hydras. Good old Ling Hydra here out of Mio. There are Hellions ready to hit with this. As the first BC is about to pop, we'll see if it just teleports straight across the map. Could be a dangerous thing for it to do. It doesn't have that teleport to escape, so Quanta could just run it across as well. Right now he's trying to just trim off a lot of these Zerglings. There's the teleport across, but there are Hydras here. But as I say that, the Hydra's getting roasty toasted by the Hellions, which are turning into Hellbats now, so the Lings cannot get on them. And what seems like it could be a good defense for Mio is quickly turning into a bit of a problem. Oh, it's the drones! Not a lot of drones going down, actually. I thought that was going to be a lot more damage. More Hellions coming across, though. The BC standing tall up here as the Hellions push into the base. But it looks like all the Hellbats will go down. It's just going to be the BC. It still has... Oh, no, it doesn't have its teleport. It did teleport in. That's right. So it's got to be careful. Got to maybe stay at the edge of creep. Doesn't have Yamato. In fact, no Yamato on the way here for Quanta. But he does have a second BC on the way. 4 Hellions coming out as well as 2 more factories going up. So this is going to be a full mech for Quanta. Hellions trying to get some drone damage done here. Yeah, only 2 drones have gone down this game. It really looked like those Hellbats were about to kill 12 drones or so. But the very last volley just didn't quite finish off a bunch of those drones. Now these Banshees have a lot of work to do to pick this back up. A few more drones do go down. Quanta's going to take this third base. The problem here for Quanta is that Mio's army, it's just going to scale a lot better, right? Like Hydras going into the mid game are going to be very strong. Quanta needs to get, I feel like, some siege tanks out. Usually when you see factory follow-ups, it's going to be like a battle mech style or something. But I don't think that would be good here. I think we need to see siege tanks to help hold this base, because Hydras really struggle against tanks. And if the Lings are dealt with by the Hellions, tanks can do a great job, but those tanks are not out yet. Those factories were not done in time, and the Hydras are here. Where are the battle cruisers? One of them is way over here. I don't even know where the other one is. It's in the main base, getting very low against a Spore Crawler. The third base gets pushed away. 16 SCVs going down. Quanta desperately trying to get these tanks out there so close, but they're not here yet. And the Lings and Hydra is going to go into the natural base. I just don't think it's going to be enough for Quanta. 2 BCs on the other side of the map. One more pops out here. The tank on the high ground. Oh, does it get taken down? The BC goes down. This is so much economic damage happening to the Terran. BC teleports home, but it has so little health. It just dies immediately. The Lings need to get up here on top of the siege tank. They do. That will be one dead tank. Most of the Hydras have fallen. So this BC might be able to teleport home and actually help hold this low ground. I think it needs to. I think this BC needs to get the hell out of here and teleport home. It's killed a lot of drones. But it will get home and help defend this. Quanta's still not in a great spot. But Mio's economy is pretty crap as well. There is a chance here if Quanta's able to hold this low ground. I don't think I like him taking his base right now. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this base. He does not have very many units out. Hasn't really repaired this BC up. Lings coming in. They will get shoved back. The tank count is starting to grow pretty significantly. Wouldn't hate to see Quanta rebuild this wall, set up a siege tank behind it. But right now, Mio not going to be able to bust in. He is building more Hydras, but he's only at 49 workers. But yeah, I think we need to see him drone up a bit more. Maybe get some more upgrades going. Mio is somewhat allergic to late game. But as this tank count grows, I mean, really, there is one answer to this army here, and it's Vipers. That is the answer that I think Mio needs to head towards. If he can get even just 2 or 3 Vipers out to support this Ling Hydra army, I feel like Quanta's going to struggle against it. But right now, I mean, these Hellions come in, trade out with some Lings and Hydras. And Mio's economy is still not in a great spot. Quanta's gotten away with this third base. I mean, it feels like he shouldn't have, but he's gotten away with it. And now, I mean, this tank count is getting huge. He has 8 siege tanks already. Holding this position, he's like, I don't even need a wall if I just put all my tanks down here. But man, imagine what 2 Blinding Clouds would do. This would be 6 siege tanks all of a sudden. I'm just saying, that might be the way to go. There's an infestation pit on the way right now. So Mio could be heading that direction. I think he's generally pretty hesitant to go that way. Blue Flame's done. Hellions do get pushed away by the Hydras, though. There's also nothing that really deals with, like, Hellions that well. I guess the Hydras do okay against them, but it's kind of an awkward fight. They both do well against each other. I just don't think Mio has realized that this is, like, 47,000 tanks. He's getting into the hive right now. So this does become dangerous for Quanta as that hive is getting close to finishing. Obviously, Vipers, again, could be a big problem. But also, Broodlords are actually a massive problem if your army is tanks and tanks and tanks with a couple Hellions out front. Mio being as annoying as he possibly can with these Hydras, but I don't know if this is going to end up being super worth it. His economy is still pretty low. 65 drones on 4 bases. Does not feel like the best economy in the world for Mio, as that Hive is finishing up. We'll see where he's heading. He doesn't have a Spire, so it's not going to be Broodlords, which I feel like would be so powerful if he had kind of anticipated the amount of tanks Quanta was going to be building and had the Greater Spire morphing right now with some Corruptors on the way. Could be pretty sick. Instead, he is going to go for the Vipers, which kind of makes more sense with the army he has right now, the economy he has. A little easier to be cost efficient with those. Quanta going to try to take this 4th base. He's going to have plenty to take it. Before those Vipers are out, the Hydras can't really stand up against these tanks all that well. They're going to try to jump on one, but that's going to be a very painful trade for Mio, who so far this game has traded quite well, but I feel like lately Quanta has just been doing much better. And Quanta's staying in this game off the back of what, you know, felt like a really good attack for Mio. And I don't hate his position. Except for the fact the Vipers are out now, and there is no defense against that for Quanta. He's just tank Hellion, man. He's got 1 Thor out, 1 Thor on the way. Oh, sorry, 2 Thors out. And Mio's just going to dive in, realizing that the tanks are spread a little bit too thin. This is not a planetary. Tanks getting yoinked here as the Lings and Hydras push forward, and this is going to be a fully dead base. Pretty sure even the CC is going to die. This is kind of expensive for Mio, but he's doing so much economic damage. I think it's well worth it. Also knocking down a lot of those siege tanks. This is the danger when you're playing this style here with just so many siege tanks. You have to spread yourself kind of thin. Taking that 4th base can be tough with this many tanks. They need a lot of support, and they just don't have it right now. Thors are here, and the Vipers went away, I assume, to try to gather more energy. But in the meantime, Mio has taken yet another base. He's up to 6 bases. Still only on 72 drones, but he's going to have the ability to move those drones around as he mines out his bases. The upgrades, +3 and +1 melee on the way here for Mio, while Quanta is heading into +3 armor and +2 attack. So, pretty comparable upgrades across the board. The real thing is, Quanta needs to get into ghosts. That's what he needs. You need him. You can't just win with pure mech at this point. Mio is going to have too much stuff, too much economy. And Vipers, there's just no counter for Vipers in Quanta's army right now. Thors can hit them, but having like a few Thors take pot shots at the Vipers is not going to stop the spells getting off. It's not going to stop the yoinks. Not going to stop the blinding clouds. I really feel like Quanta needs to get into ghosts. And it's kind of a weird transition when you're on full mech to try to get some ghosts out, but they don't really need bio upgrades. Just getting those snipes or EMPs off, punishing units as they try to escape too. I think it's crucial, and now we're going to see those yoinks come in as the Thors damage some Vipers and all just die. Quanta's going to move down here and try to take this base. Needs to be careful to split these tanks up so they can't just get blinding clouded. Mio needs to be careful too, though. He's going to dive in on top of this, but oh man, he's got a whole other army down here. There's the blinding clouds hitting a lot of those tanks, and that's just going to be that. As Mio takes game number 2 off of Quanta. Quanta staying in that game for a very long time. I think the transition, getting into all those tanks was very good for him. But it didn't feel like he had the next step ready to go. Those ghosts, or maybe getting into like Vikings, Liberators, things like that. And he wasn't able to take a 4th base, hold a 4th base. That means we're going to be heading to game number 3 of this best of 11 series. What's up, Mas? Hope y'all doing well out there, enjoying the StarCraft we have. After this best of 11, we will have another best of 11. which is going to be, sorry, making the map hard to speak and do things at the same time. Which is going to be Demi versus Han Mono. So TVZ. Oh. A TVZ. I say like this isn't also a TVZ, but another TVZ. A very different TVZ, I feel like. I'm out of water, so as we load into this one, I'm going to go grab some more of that. Put you guys in the game. You don't miss anything. We'll see if they spawn in the right spots again. Dang it. Not only are they in the wrong spots, now they're the wrong colors. They could just do what GSL does and do this. Oh, that wouldn't be right either, would it? Dang it. All right. Let me fix the overlays. Don't worry. There we go. All right, we got it. Look at us go. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Gresfon, we have Quanta, the Blue Terran, who is currently down 0-2 in this best of 11. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner is none other than Meomaika. Looking pretty strong here. All right, Gresfon. This one's more recent. You know, this was just in the map pool. It's fresh in the mind. A lot of really good TVZs on this map, actually. I always loved watching Dark play on Gresfon. I feel like he always gave us the best TVZs on this one. We had some super late game TVZs. I don't necessarily expect a super late game here, as it's Meomaika. I'm not as familiar with Quanta's play style, so it's kind of interesting to see what he's going to be doing. Game 1 obviously didn't give us a huge tell. He was just heading towards Stim Bio, which is pretty good, but pretty standard. Game 2 is a little more interesting with the Battle Cruiser opening. It makes me wonder if Quanta has like one style, or if he's the kind of player that likes to change it up. You know, more like Special, who we were seeing earlier, who might try to go for some different styles and use that strategic brain rather than just pure mechanics to win the match. But Mio showing us some of that Hydra specialty in the last game. It's very interesting, the composition that he chose to go for. Just Ling Hydra. No Banelings, no Roaches, nothing. I don't know, it's very fragile, that army, right? But very powerful. You can get a lot of damage done. Ling surrounds, the Hydras do a lot of DPS. Not a lot of Zerg players going for that. But it worked out for him in that game. And I do believe it's 1st to 6 wins, but every map win is $5. So even if Quanta only takes one map, you gotta get something out of it. And the winner will take all of Quanta's points. Quanta could double his OSC points here, or lose them all. They're all on the line. I'll have to wait till next season. Yeah, it's an OSC point wager. I feel like we don't see a lot of those. I guess the end of the season would be the time to do it, right? Wow, I love this for Mio. Okay. Hydroden and the Infestation Pit going down. Boom. Right at the same time. 40 drones. Hydroden Infestation Pit. Such a Mio build, honestly. Quanta going to take a quick third and just going into Hellions and a Liberator. He does have Stim on the way behind this, so a lot of potential for Marines off the back of it. He doesn't have a lot of Marine production right now, but he's got the potential to get there eventually. I like how you open with the Viking again, too, because then it makes it feel like another battlecruiser build, but it's absolutely not. There's double eBay and 2 more Raxes going down behind this. Third base is done. Quanta needs to get some mining going at that. The worker count is even. As Hydras and Infestors start to come out, Lings don't really want to take this engagement. That is a lot of Hellions. Quanta doing a great job making this look like the exact same build, but oh no, the Lings get the surround, and the Hydras will finish off those Hellions. They look so dangerous, and then all of a sudden Mio just crushes them. And just like that, Quanta is dead. And listen, I don't mean to take this lightly, but Quanta has nothing else behind it. Those Hellions, this Liberator were meant to keep Mio home. Get some damage, sure, but just keep him back. Keep him at home. And then leave Quanta his side of the map. And now Quanta, I mean, he's got 2 Marines. At 15 army supply. Most of it's just in production. The barracks is just finished. This tank just popped out, but it's on the high ground. And the bunker is broken. Mio is in. He's got Lings and Hydras in the natural. Quanta is in a lot of trouble. Maybe he can hold here, get enough bio out to take a good fight. Stim is done, but he doesn't have any medevacs right now. The starport's trying to build a reactor. SCV is already going down in droves, and oh my god, the fungal on the SCVs and the friendly fire from the tank. 24 SCVs have gone down now. And I just don't see a way back into this for Quanta. He's down 30 workers. He's going to lose his natural command center, and that is going to be GG. Meomaika going to go up 3-0 in this best of 11. Halfway there, halfway to victory already. Without a single game going to the Terran. Gotta wait for the next map here. We've already used 2 of the non-current ladder maps. See where Quanta wants to go next. His loser picks, but you start to run out of maps you like, Sin. Oh, he never goes there, but Kitty is actually underneath on the cat tree in the little hidey hole. I don't think the camera can see it. Very cute. See how far down the camera goes here. No, he's like right in this thing, right underneath where the camera can see. Too bad. Still went on the map. I don't know. Maybe I left that game a little bit later. Quanta might have needed a moment. Of course, as I say that, tells us the map. All right, we're on a hard lead. There's it ready. Let's get into it. Back to current maps. Love to see it. I actually really like this map pool. I'm really happy with it. So far giving us some really good games. Ooh. Let's hop in. I don't remember where the overlay was, so we're going to have to change things for sure. As the top player is now Meomaika. The bottom player is Quanta. Oh, hold on. Put your A in there. But also, Quanta decided not to be red. Instead to be orange. All right. I've already basically introduced the players, but spawning in the upper left, up 3-0 in this best of 11 is Meomaika. And of course his opponent, the orange Terran. In the lower right is Quanta. Oh, Quanta playing for Abydos. And what team is Meomaika on? Team Gosu is. Again, forgive my bad memory. I always forget what team everybody's on. Unless they have the clan tag with the team. It's the only way I can ever remember. I feel like I don't see Quanta all that often. I wish Quanta would sign up for more stuff. Need Quanta and more KSLs. Oh, I'm excited for DreamHack Atlanta, though. I feel like I've talked about it a lot tonight, but it's going to be so good. So good to see everybody again. Get some live StarCraft. Get to see some Stormgate and Zero Space action. Gotta find out when the Zero Space stuff is. I know Stormgate, I believe, was on Sunday morning. Zero Space might be at the same time, I'm not sure. Or like around the same time. I don't know who's gonna win DreamHack though. I feel like Serral's kind of always the safe bet. But with pretty much everybody having to travel significant distances, it changes a lot of things. You have a lot of weird jet lag stuff going on. Some players do better on stage than others too, so you could have some cheeky upsets from a player who might not be super comfortable in the environment of a DreamHack tournament, which is different than other tournament environments. It's exciting though. Ooh, that is a fast armory. That's a fast armory, Quanta. What are we doing with that armory? I think we're going for the old trusty Hellbat all-in. I haven't seen a 2-base Hellbat all-in in a minute. Oh, that's the second factory. I didn't even realize. We're going to have 4 Hellion production, quad Hellion. plus the armory done. Oh my god, and +1 armor on the way. All right, Quanta. No third CC. Ooh, Cyclones. Okay, okay. I thought for sure this was just going to be pure Hellion, but adding some Cyclones in, those would be very helpful against Queens, but they're also not too bad against Lings these days either. We have, again, the Hydroden Infestation Pit combo here for Mio. But I mean, Quanta doesn't have a third base, so this has got to be all in at some point. I assume trying to hit with +1 armor, finishing up. It's going to be a very powerful attack, but the Infestors now pop with enough energy for a fungal, and that's going to be huge on this set of units, which is all about the hit and run. It's all about the micro and the movement. And if you lose that with a big fungal, I mean, it could be very deadly for these Cyclones. Talked about it earlier, but the amount of DPS from the Hydras is huge. And just being able to hit units that can't run away with the Lings and the Hydras can kill them very quickly. I think Mio's pretty well set up for this, but it is going to come down to if he can hit the fungals. And he's only going to have 2 of them, so it's just 2 chances for a big fungal here. Mio needs to be very careful about this. He's going to see this showing up as the Cyclones are going to make their presence known. Mio goes for a fungal, hits a lot of the Hellions, but the Cyclones still doing a lot of damage on here, and most of the Hellions stay alive. Another fungal does hit the Cyclones, but the Hydras are already dead, the Lings are already dead, and there we go. Finally, getting a point on the board is Quanta. Down 0-3, pulls out a cheeky build. I guarantee you that build will get lots of wins on ladder. But Quanta finally puts a point on the board, brings it to a 3-1. Gets $5 out of it, and is one step closer to maybe not losing all of his OSC points. What were the first 3 maps? Map 1 was 2,000 Atmospheres. Map 2 was Site Delta. Map 3 was Gressvon. Map 4 was Hardlead, and Map 5 will be Alcyone. This is a best of 11. No problem on your own. Got you covered. I just realized I still have a candle burning. All right, players are ready. I'm going to blow out this candle because I don't really need it lit right now. Smells nice in here, though. Kitty's a little upset I haven't fed him dinner yet. He had a late breakfast, though. It's just how it goes sometimes. Let's hop in to our next game. This is game number 5. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to have to change some things here. Wait, hold on. Hold on. No, I'm not. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the Orange Terran, Quanta. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, it is Meomaika. Ah, they're the same colors. They spawn in the same locations. Good work, team. Good work, team. You love to see it. So Quanta finally getting a point on the board. I just realized that my score is wrong now. There we go. Finally getting that point on the board. It was looking kind of dire for him. I don't know. It felt like everything he tried to do, Meomaika was just able to win against. And Meomaika plays so weirdly. And I kind of love it. It makes the game so much more entertaining because it I just don't really know what to expect from him. You know, if I'm watching Dark or Serral or, you know, any of the top Zergs, really, that I see a lot of games from, I know what to expect from them. I know what we're going to see. It all makes sense. Sometimes they do weird stuff, but, like, it's still kind of just what you expect. But with Mio, I have no idea. No clue. I've been casting Mio a long time, and I still have no clue. Never did. Never will. I guess I can probably count on him making Hydras. That's been pretty consistent this series. Just Hydra Ling seems to be the composition of choice for Meomaika. Reaper thinking about coming across, but decides to go home. As Mio has been liking his early game pool. Not super early, just early enough to build a few Lings, get him across the map. And this has forced Quanta to be defensive. But in this case, the Lings were not built, so it just works out for Mio, kind of cutting that corner of actually building the Lings. I let him take that third base, and I mean, it keeps Quanta back without any investment, really. So pretty nice for Mio. Sorry for a second while I do some things that I had forgotten about. As we're getting into this show match. Oh, a Roach Warren. Oh my God, Mio. Who is he? Who is he? I don't know who I'm looking at anymore. See if the Reaper can get the scout off on this. This is huge. It's not going to be Ling Hydra. Quanta needs to get the scout off on all of this, honestly. This is a full wall for Mio. Walling himself off from this third base. It's just going to be Hellions again out of Quanta. He's got the Viking on the way. It's funny that he's opened with the Viking on the starport no matter what the actual build is. I think that's good, though. It kind of hides what he's doing. Doesn't make it as obvious to the Zerg. But this time it's a quick 3cc. Roaches and 1-1 on the way out for Meomaika. Pretty low drone count right now. Not pumping out more drones, just pumping out more roaches. He's got 1-1 on the way, but there's no lair, so it's not going to be roach speed. Quanta's going to have the perfect counter, though, which is cloaked Banshees. He doesn't even really need them cloaked. Just Banshees would be the perfect counter here. Because Mio, he's going to have to build the lair now. And I think he wanted to do just like a 1-1 roach push. But now he has to get into the lair. Probably wait for roach speed. A little supply blocked. Kind of a dicey position for Mio. As Quanta's taken a third base, and he has caught up in workers. 6 more drones on the way, so Mio is going to start getting that economy going a little bit more. But I think he's only doing that because he scouted in the main, and he scouted... Oh, he didn't scout in the main. I lied to you. I thought for sure I heard an Overlord over here earlier. Well, he has no idea. All right. Double Armory coming up as another factory is being built for Quanta, so he's heading into mech this time. If he can get some tanks out, that'll be very good against these roaches, but for right now, I mean, this is going to be tough for Quanta. I feel like there's going to be a very powerful roach push still available for Meomaika. Got 6 Overlords on the way, which tells me he's just going to be pumping roaches. There is a certain point where, like, a Banshee can't help you. There's just too many roaches. Ooh, the Hellions going to dive in. Going to get on top of these drones. They're lining up. 5 drones going down, and the Hellions will leave. He sees just how many roaches there are, though. Oh, Quanta not pulling those Hellions back quick enough. Banshee's moving out to the middle of the map to try to start chipping away at these roaches. They do have Cloak. Obviously, don't really need it against the roaches, but just good to know in general. Mio's 1-1 is done. His roach speed is almost finished. Is he going to go for a big push? I don't know. This is tough. Oh, the Banshee's just getting in there, getting some damage done before the Spore Crawlers finish. The Hellions going to try to shark in as well. Quanta has had time to get some tanks out. It looks like it's just one tank, though. Oh, man. Mio's just pushing across the map. He's just going for it. Roach speed is done. Those roaches are going to get right in there. The Hellions and Hellbats here getting some drone damage done. The Banshees, though, they needed to be there for the defense. The roaches, not afraid of the one siege tank, are just going to dive forward. The tank going to get some big hits, but it's not going to be enough on its own. And uh-oh, the roaches are getting into the main supply depot. Is like, I got it. Don't worry, boss. I'll stop them. The Banshees need to get back here now. They need to get some damage done. The roaches are in. They're chasing the tank all the way back to the corner. Quanta just trying to buy time. But I think there might just be too much damage here from the roaches. More of them spilling across the map. Lings and roaches following up. As the third base is getting hit, the natural's getting hit. So many workers going down. Now, that being said, Quanta is still ahead workers, but as I say that, I mean, it just keeps dropping. There's just not enough here to defend. And Meomaika goes up 4-1 in this best of 11. 4-1. Only 2 maps away from sealing the deal here. Quanta only on 1 map win. Not ideal for the Terran. Max Packs versus Special. Who won? Max Packs took the win in that one, 3-1. Ooh, now we're going to Radhisset Station for game number 6. All right. Players are in. Players are ready. And we're going to be going. I'm excited for this one. Radhisset Station, one of my favorite maps of the current map pool. Definitely the weirdest one. The weirdest of the maps. All right, now we got to figure out. I think the players are going to be in different spots. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me while I change some things around. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. You know, we're doing production on the fly here. Good times. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Radhisset Station, we have our orange Terran player, Quanta. His opponent in the lower left, it is the blue Zerg, Meomaika. Oh, Quanta misplacing a barracks there. Looks like cancels it. Puts down a new one. So Radhisset Station, don't see a lot of TVZs on this map. I guess that's the nice thing about extended series like this is you get to see a wider variety of maps. We're going to get at least 6 maps in this. Right? Is it 6? Or is it 7? Does 7 maps win? So bad at math. I guess it would be 7 maps win, right? Because, no. Yeah? 6 maps. It's hurt my brain. So this is trying to do math on stream is what I'm trying to do. 6 maps. All right. I got it. I figured it out. Always an even number that wins. I don't know why that was so hard. But yeah, should get a good few maps out of it. We'll at least have 7 maps. But hopefully Quanta's able to take another game. At least. Would be cool to see like a reverse sweep in a best of 11. Yes, thank you, Juan. Thank you, Juan. I struggled with that for a minute. For no reason. We got the nice planet in the background. Try to look at it. I wish I could hold the camera only partially turned so we could see the planet better. We see it over here? A little bit. It's hanging out back there. Spinning around. Quanta gonna go for a pretty quick third command center again. I will say the one game he won was like a big 2-base all-in with lots of Hellions and Cyclones. Maybe he needs to just bust that build back out. Maybe he should just do that until Mio can hold it. It's be like a practice match. I'm gonna keep doing this build that kills you until you stop dying to it. Reaper playing very timidly. And we don't see any scouting on the other side of the map for Quanta, so he doesn't know what he's up against. Granted, this is Mio, so it's really hard to ever know what you're up against. I see double Evo going down, and this is feeling kind of like game 1, I feel like, for Meomaika. That quick double Evo might be starting up the +1 melee, +1 carapace combo. The pocket third on this map is going to be really nice for Quanta to have. We see Mio not taking that at first. He wants to push that creep forward before taking the back base. Zergs usually want to expand kind of outwards rather than inwards. We do have that match Reno to help support OSC. This is a fundraising 24-hour StarCraft marathon that we are getting near the end of. So we have this best of 11 and then another best of 11 series after this one's finished up. Consider, as we pause, checking out that. This is a perfect time to check out the match Reno. Do some of those sponsor quests and help support the World Championships, the OSC World Championships, which are coming up. They're coming up. And he's so cute. Usually he loves to sit on top of the cat tree, but for some reason he wants to be inside the cat tree right now. And he's just sleeping, and it's so cute.
Game resumed.
Right. Sorry, I forgot. I was going to have to be the one to restart the game there. Got to make sure the players are ready to go. I'm really bad at resuming games. I should practice resuming games. It'd be a good thing for me to do. As a tournament admin who frequently ends up with referee in game. Learning to unpause games quickly, I think, would be a good skill to have. Some of us, despite playing StarCraft for many years, are still very low APM. I am one of those people. You know, I don't see this map very often. I kind of like the minerals underneath the map aesthetic. I think that's really cool. I haven't seen this map in a long time, actually, I feel like. So seldomly does it pop up in tournaments. I think the only time I really saw it more, like a few times, was right before GSL. So I think the players were picking it because they knew they wouldn't see it in GSL, so they didn't want to like reveal any of their builds. Don't worry, JW. We're all called out by the low APM. I doubt anybody in chat has consistently more than 150 APM. Let's be real. I know a couple of you might, but like for the most part, you know we're all down here in the trenches. I will say my APM in StarCraft has increased dramatically since I first started playing. You can improve your APM. It is possible. Ooh, these Hellions roasty, toasty, and some Lings. The Lings looking for the surround. That is going to be a lot of dead Lings, though, and most of the Hellions survive. Mio going for the surround and not getting it there. 33 Lings getting roasted for just 2 Hellions. Whew. Sheesh. That is not a good trade for the Zerg. Granted, Mio is solidly chilling at 71 workers. Still hasn't taken that back base, but it is 4 bases to 3. Quanta's going to push out, and I feel like we haven't seen too many pushes from the Terran other than the game-winning one earlier on hard lead. But now we've got like a real push going on. This is a lot of Lings, but a lot of Sim Marines, so these Lings are not going to win that fight. They do clear out some of the Hellions, only a couple of Hellions left over. Trying to join back up with the army. Just one gets out of there. Oh, and now, nice little tank spot here from Quanta. Gonna try to be annoying. I don't know if he can actually hit this, but he can at least body block a little bit and get these Marines up there. He's got some Marines to help protect this, as well as more Marines showing up. Ooh, let's help out on the low ground. Nicely done for Quanta. This is very annoying to deal with. 2-2 is going to finish for Mio, though. That's huge right now, as the upgrades for Quanta are just nowhere near complete. Mio's just waiting. He's got mutas out. How many mutas does he have out, actually? 13 of them. Damn. And those mutas are going to dive on top of this. Going to focus fire on one tank. Kill some of the Marines here. Focus fire the other tank. The Ling's going to try to deal with this in the main base. The mutas can make sure the medevacs can't do any fancy lifting. Down it all goes. And while this is a nice push from Quanta, it is getting cleaned up by Mio. And this little force isn't going to do much down on the low ground. Mio's just going to rotate around and take it out. Still 12 mutas in the sky, +1 and more of them on the way. And Quanta's not even going to try to bring this home. He's just chilling out here on the map. Well, that's the problem. Now he needs to defend. Ooh, mutas do get pushed away, though. Ling's trying to hit as well. But it's not enough Lings to really take the fight here. And it's just pure Ling muta right now. There are no Banelings. I think Mio's like allergic to Banelings or something. He did lose some drones, too, so he's only at 69 to the 76 workers of the Terran. If Quanta's able to take a 4th base here, this could be really dicey for Mio, who does have a 5th base up, but not quite enough drones to saturate it just yet. Muta's really not getting any damage done. Their +1 is done. There's 15 of them. They're going to dive in and take down that one turret and start working on this base a little bit. Quanta needs to get some units over here to deal with this. Because right now these mutas are doing a great job. POCV's killed. A few geysers getting taken out. He takes down a supply depot. Ooh, tries to catch him with some Marines. Dangerous move, but Mio gets out of there. So Quanta might want to go for a little droppy right now. Muta count still standing pretty strong for the timing. There's a Thor on the way. Mac Descent, are my alerts not working? They seem to be working fine earlier. I didn't see anything in chat though, so if it doesn't show up in chat, it won't come to me. So you might have to refresh and like hit the resub button or something. Not too sure. But thank you for the Prime sub. I'm sorry that it didn't go through. The alert didn't go through. But I appreciate it nonetheless. Oh, Quanta going for a couple of drops here. One medevac on the north side. Going to start to be a little bit annoying here. Some Lings come up to try to clear it. The mutas might have to come back. They're focused on harassing right now. At the same time, double medevac drop going into the natural. Spire is right here. That could be a big target if Mio's not ready for it. But Mio did make Banelings. Turns out he's not allergic. Quanta, pick up Quanta. No! Pick up the phone. Doesn't pick up the phone. Loses all those Marines. But these Marines, they will get picked up. Pick off another Queen. 12 drones have gone down. This drop is still here being annoying. 6 SCVs did die. Ooh, that medevac gets caught by the mutas in the middle of the map. But I like this for Quanta overall. I mean, sacrificing some Marines here, I think is well worth getting a lot of damage done. Quanta is up 86 to 68 workers right now. He's at a huge worker advantage over the Zerg. And that being said, look at that army supply, 132 to 99. Hot diggity. One medevac gonna go out. But Quanta needs to be ready for this. This is a lot of Lings and Banes. Oh my god, the tank's doing their best. Wow. And the Lings getting on top of it. The Banelings still rolling through. And I don't think there's going to be enough Terran here. That was a lot of money spent for Meomaika. If Quanta can clean it up, he'll be okay. But oh no, the Natural's getting busted in. The Thor can't quite clean up the rest of these mutas. The fourth base is just in shambles. 25 SCVs going down. That single medevac drop on the other side of the map has a lot of work to do. Granted, the worker count is now even. But the problem is losing all those tanks, losing all those Thors, it just reset this army of the Terran. And in the meantime, the Lings and Muta is going to keep reinforcing. 9 more Mutas on the way. This single drop is getting some damage done. And I mean, I can't discount this because 5 drones brings Mio to a worse worker count. He's going to lift up and just try to get out of there, keep this going. Losing the fourth, very painful. But Quanta is kind of still in this, honestly, more so than I had expected. And there's the Prime sub, Mac Descent. Thank you so much. Here is your sub. Oh, the mobile version. Yeah, we can blame it on the mobile version. But thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate the support. Quanta building a couple more CCs here, just trying to get as many units out as possible. Mio, of course, pumping out Lings and Mutas. Doesn't have a lot of Banelings, though. Doesn't have any Banelings, though. So those might be important moving forward. Quanta trying to get this base set back up. Oh, the Lings and Mutas diving in. There are a lot of Marines here. The tank's getting hit, but I don't know if Mio's got enough to push through this. The Mutas, oh, they're going to be on their own in a second. Trying to pick off some of these tanks, but the Marines are winning the fight. The Mutas are dying. The tanks do not get picked off, and Mio taps out. Quanta, in the longest game, I think, of the day so far, of this series, takes it and brings it to a 4-2. Mio may be overcommitting there in that first fight. The low worker count. If you're going to play Lingbane Muta, I think you really have to do it at 85, 90, 95, 100 workers, especially against a Terran who's on a better economy than you. You just can't take those inefficient trades. But Mio, he went in anyways, cleared the fourth base, but that just wasn't enough damage against the Terran on such a good economy. Hey, Chickenman, there's a tournament. There's still a tournament who mortals can sign in. So what we're covering right now, these are show matches. So this is a best of 11 show match, and then we'll have another best of 11 show match after this. The next tournament that you could sign up for, the next open tournament, would be the ESL Open Cup, which there's going to be 3 ESL Open Cups. One of them is going to be on the Korean server, and then we'll have the European server and the America server Open Cups. So the Korean server one will start in 3 hours, right? No, 2 hours. 2 hours from now, the Korean Open Cup starts. So if you wanted to sign up for that one, I can link it to you momentarily. You have to make an ESL account if you don't already have one, but that would be the next tournament that you could sign up for. As we hop into game 7. Yeah. It is 4-2. Gonna have to swap the names again. Because of course. And swap the colors. All right, we did it. Whew. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Oceanborn. Finally taking a second map there, making it a bit closer. Although he still has a long way to go. It is Quanta, representing Abydos. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner for Team Gosu is Meomaika. But yes, right now we're covering the OSC show matches. This is part of the OSC 24-hour marathon that has been going on all day. We're getting close to the 24-hour mark. By the time these best of 11s finish up, we should be there. A lot of good games today, a lot of good matches, some King of the Hill action, Rising Star, covered some mid-season playoffs. It's been a good time. If you guys want to support OSC as they are heading into their 10th World Championship, consider supporting an !Matcherino. And also, check out the !support. I'll link those in the chat here. Which is also a good way to support OSC. Support that grassroots esports, which we're going to need in the RTS community. Going to be crucial, I think, moving into Stormgate and Zero Space. Going to need all the roots of all the grass we can possibly get. 11th championship. That's what I get for trying to count, trying to do math. And the 12th season, right? I was almost there. It's even more championships than previously expected. Meomaika is going to have even more roaches than previously expected. As the roaches get right on in to Quanta's base. Quanta's trying to build a Hellion here. This is looking a little dicey, though. The one Reaper out. There's nothing in production. Quanta, always waiting for the gas. He wants to build a Marauder. We spent all the gas to get this Cyclone started up. Roach is killing 6 SCVs. The natural force to lift. Roach is back up for a second and then come back up trying to kill this Hellion. The good old 3-Roach build here out of Meomaika has a few lings with it too. As the Cyclone pops out, Quanta's going to be able to clear this. But losing those early game units, very, very painful. Really messes up Quanta's build. That being said, if he can catch these Roaches, that would be huge. Oh, they're going to morph into Ravagers. 16 lings on the way, 18 lings on the way. Mio's not done yet. He wants to try to catch these units as they are roaming out on the map, trying just to not die for the time being. But now the Lings come in, joining up with the Ravagers. And on the door! The door! Oh no, the door was open! And Mio just gets right in. The Lings get on top of the Cyclone. There's no repair. And I don't know if Quanta can handle this. The rest of the Lings break through what door there was. Biles going down. Taking out more units. The Landed Viking going to be super useful here. But that is 14 more SCVs going down. He's got to be a little bit careful as he sends more Lings in here. But he's at over double the worker count of his opponent. And while it is 3 orbitals, means lots of mules and lots of SCV production. I don't know, Kev. Looking a little dicey here for our Terran player. He's trying to hold on. It's gonna be a long attempt at a comeback for Quanta. Again, the 3 orbitals. It's a lot, right? 3 orbitals is a lot of economic potential here. I like that he's not actually sending SCVs to mine at this base. He's just got it down so he can build from it and send them over here and drop mules from it. Still so far to go before he's at a decent economy. And meanwhile, Mio already going to be cruising up past 50 workers, still keeping that double worker count over his opponent. More factories going down. The double armory on the way very quickly here. I think Quanta's trying to take a big chance, right? Trying to just use what he has, get as many SCVs out as he can, try to buff that tech up. And if he can stay alive for like 3 or 4 more minutes, maybe he'll be in an okay spot, enough where he could take like a good trade and pull himself back into it. But Mio's going to hit with all these Lings. There's no blue flame here. The Hellions doing what they can, but the Cyclone's going to get killed. I don't know how much longer Quanta's going to be able to stay in this game. Losing all of his units now. Just a couple of Hellions left alive. Not too many SCVs going down, but still, this is some damage. There's some stuff on the other side of the map, though. This Liberator looking for damage. There was something over here that just died. But that Liberator does not find damage. And this is not feeling any better for Quanta. Mio did stop droning at 53, so that worker count, the worker lead isn't getting any bigger for him, but that just means he's hit the worker count he wants to be at, and he's going to go attack. And I don't think there's any way there's going to be enough units out to defend this attack, as Hydras are on the way. Their speed upgrade is first for Mio, because he's just going to be pushing them across the map. 1 or 2 tanks is just not going to be enough to stop the onslaught of Mio, to stop the swarm. I love that Mio's double expanding as well behind this. 4th base finishing up, 5th base already on the way. You know they say, win ahead, get more ahead. 2 tanks are out. It is double tank production here. I mean, if you can get up to like 4 tanks, then maybe there's a world, I believe. Problem is Mio is just building more and more units. He's droned up as well. He's up to 67 workers now. Quanta is finally getting this 3rd base saturated. This is starting to feel like, I think it was game 2 on Site Delta. It feels very similar to that, where Mio dealt a big blow to Quanta early on. Quanta stayed alive with the 3rd command center and got out a bunch of tanks, and then just wasn't able to get into any follow-up. The Vipers came out and just kind of killed him. We'll see if that happens here again, as there are 4 siege tanks out, and the Hellions do have blue flame. The Lings and Hydras going to jump in on top of this. The tanks are all going to go down, though, and now it's Hydras against Hellions, and only 1 H unit can survive. Quanta, despite having 2 H's at the start of his name, is going to be forced to tap out, as the Hydras are the better H unit, and suddenly Meomaika is on match point. He's up 5-2. We might be going to our last map of the best of 11 here. Yeah, no tanks on the high ground. Just didn't have enough time to get into a good group of tanks. All right, getting into Ancient Cistern for our next map. Going back to the old map pool. It's going to be map number... What is it? It's 5-2. So this is map 8. I think Quanta was hoping he could get into enough tanks. Similar to game 2, which he did get into enough tanks in game 2, where Mio did kind of struggle breaking in. He delayed the 4th base successfully, Mio did, but wasn't able to really break through the tanks until he had Vipers out. And then it ended up being maybe too easy. As we are getting into game 8 here. Unfortunately, they spawned in the same places with the same colors, so we're good to go on the overlay. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the Orange Terran, Quanta. Has taken 2 games, but needs to now win 4 in a row to have hopes of taking this best of 11. Meanwhile, his opponent is on match point. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner, the blue Zerg is Meomaika. Had some good games today. Interestingly enough, Quanta won a... he won his first game with a very solid 2-base all-in. Hellions and Cyclones just pumping him out, pushing real hard. And Mio just didn't have enough to hold it. I don't think he'd really scouted what he was up against until it was too late. Quanta also won, though, a kind of a longer, more just solid macro game on Radicet Station. So I wonder if he's going to be looking to do something more like that. That being said, I think he has tried to do more of those kinds of games, and Mio has stopped him successfully a few times. Radicet Station, of course, has that pocket third, so Mio couldn't quite get that early game damage done like he did in the last game, or game 2, or some of the other games where we've seen that 3cc opener from Quanta, and Mio has just stopped him from being able to actually use it. We'll see what shakes out this time. We're on Ancient Cistern, so the map pool is extended. We have 3 older maps added to our already 9 map pool for the players to choose from. And it has been loser pick for this. We started on 2,000 atmospheres, and after that it was loser pick with, I think there was 1 veto because it's a best of 11, and then we had 12 maps. And on the line are OSC points. So Quanta went all in on the bet, on the wager, with 177.5 OSC points. The winner will take that from the loser. Quanta has a chance to double his OSC points, but I don't know. It's looking like Quanta might end up with 0 OSC points. Does keep that SCV alive. Not to mention that each map win is $5, so at the very least, Quanta will be reimbursed a little bit for his trouble. Keep an eye on what Mio's planning on doing here. He's going to be the driver of the action, perhaps. So I do kind of expect a fairly quick 3rd CC out of Quanta again, but we'll see there. Quanta has had some nice builds. We had a early BC earlier on. Of course, the big 2-base all-in on hard lead. A lot of potential for interesting stuff here out of Quanta. But it will be Mio dropping the first tech building. It's going to be a Bane nest. Bunch of Lings on the way. It's going to be a cheeky little Bane bust, it looks like. On the Terran. See if he can bust through. Link sneaking around the side. There are some Hellions coming up towards this third base. Mia's going to have to be aware of, but he's just building Lings right now. Cyclone's on the way. I don't think Quanta realizes that he is up against somebody going basically all in. The Viking's going to get repaired up to full health. Looks like Mio's just going to try to pick off some SCVs. 5 of them going down before the Lings get cleared up and sent away. There's a lot more Lings where that came from. And Mio, he's not stopped producing Lings. He is supply block now, so he's got to build a few Overlords before he can build any more Lings. Ooh, Hellions and Cyclones trying to push across the map. This could get really weird. Ling's trying to get on top of this, but the Hellions are actually going to win this fight. That's a lot of dead Lings. Something that Mio can't really afford, as he just morphed 14 Banelings. Oh my god, and the Lings are on the other side of the map with the Banes. The wall is going to have to get busted here. Cyclone's trying to pick up a few of those Banelings. There's only a few Lings here, though. This is a real problem for Mio right now. I think Quanta can hold this. Splitting these SCVs so the Banelings don't get too much value. 5 SCVs going down. On the other side of the map, it does look like Mio's going to clean this up. Only 1 Hellion and 1 Cyclone left, but he's going to tap out. Quanta holds. And we are going to go to a game number 9. It is now 5-3. Mio trying to close it out with a Bane Bust. It did not work. Figure out what maps we have left. We still have a few current map pool maps. I don't think we've played Hecate, Solaris, Equilibrium. I think Golden Aura was vetoed, so I think we'll have that one. But yeah, I think those are the 3 we have left. Quanta making this close. Keeping it exciting. All right, Quanta needs a little break, so we're going to chill for a minute. Make the map. We'll just take a moment here to rest and reflect and go to the bathroom. Chilling like a villain. Demi waiting patiently for his chance to go for a best of 11 against Han Mono. Tough opponent. Gonna be exciting. What's the next map? Equilibrium is gonna be the next map. I'm gonna take this opportunity to run an ad. Sorry, guys. While we're waiting for players, sitting down for a moment. I think I'm gonna fill my water while we're waiting. Always good to take a moment. Fill some water, you know? Still match point for Mio. Quanta pulling it back, though. I was a little worried for him at first. Quanta going for the Korean Classic, which is in the middle of playing a match. You gotta go poop, you know? It happens. It's happened to a lot of Koreans. Been there, done that. And now I feel like I should have used this opportunity to pee too. Now it's too late. If I go now, Quanta's gonna come back immediately. Alright, I'm going. At least you have the cat to keep you company. He's still not back. We're good. Perfect time. Alright, so what is this? Map number 9. Equilibrium. We're getting close to the full best of 11. Feels like the cat knows you're watching. I think he does. I think he does. He doesn't mind being on camera. But, you know, he's got places to go if he doesn't want to be on camera. He was hiding underneath his little spot there earlier. So you couldn't see him. And also he has a little tent. It's so cute. It's just a little baby tent. And he'll just go in here and just chill in it. And it's just like the most adorable thing in the world. The adorable camping cat. Yeah. One of these days I want to try to I would like to try to leash train him, but I don't know how we'd feel about like a harness. But I also thought about getting like one of those backpacks. That has like the window in it. Like the little bubbles. because that would be super cute. Like, take him around. But now with the tent, I'm like, oh, should leash train him and then go camping with him. Which would be super silly. But all right. We've got ourselves a game number 9. Excuse me. Jeez. Sorry, bud. Let's hop in. Join our players here in Equilibrium. The nice thing about this one is I don't have to make the names match, so we'll just give them some scores. As this is a best of 11, and on match point, the upper right-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the Blue Zerg player, Meomaika, representing Team Gosu. His opponent, for Abydos, the upper left, the Orange Terran, it's Quanta. I will say Meomaika has, in general, looked a bit stronger in this series, but Quanta has taken 3 maps, and honestly, one of them was maybe the most just like standard of our game so far. One was an all-in, and the other one was holding the all-in, obviously, last game. The Bane bust from Meomaika getting stopped. Mio's still on match point. But Equilibrium's a very interesting map, and I don't know how these guys are going to play on it. So we're getting to the point now where we're getting to maps that, I don't know, I feel like we don't really see super often. I don't see a lot of Equilibrium, particularly in TVZ. Be interested to see how they play on it. This was Mio's pick. So far, because it's been loser's pick, Quanta has picked more times than Mio. So this could be good Zerg map. Or at least a good Mio map. Good Zerg maps and good Mio maps are not the same thing. I know when people talk about maps, they're always like, oh, this map's good for this race. And that can generally be true, but there are some players that play such a different style that a map can be good or bad for them that's generally the opposite for other players of that race. I feel like Mio's one of those people. He plays so differently that, like, what makes a good Zerg map doesn't necessarily make a good Mio map, vice versa. Looks like a pretty standard macro opening, though. Not seeing anything crazy here out of either player just yet. So far, Quanta's been generally pretty happy to just macro. He does like to put some early game pressure on. He's been very active with his Hellions. Had a battlecruiser build earlier in this series, but overall, pretty macro focused. Mio is the one who's definitely been more aggressive in this series, more lower economy, higher army games, and I see that double Evo chamber again, similar to some of the other matches, other games we've seen in this series already. Quite a few Lings. They're going to go for the runaround here. As the Hellions start poking, they might try to sneak in, get some SCV damage. Going around the tower in the middle of the map so that Quanta will not spot them. Oh, the wall's not ready yet, and it's double Cyclone in production right now. The Ling's getting in at the perfect time for Mio. And Quanta gonna lose some SCVs here, trying to pull them away, pulling the Lings, the Hellions back. But there's already 5, 6, 7 workers going down. It's gonna be a kill on one of these building depots. 8 workers getting killed, and most of the Lings are gonna get out of here as well. Wow, what a trade. Only 2 Lings going down? That is huge. Excellent opening here for Meomaika. All right, he's going to lose a few more Lings now, but still. Third CC is going down for Quanta. He, again, very macro-focused player. Meanwhile, that 1-1 starts up for Mio. We'll see where he wants to go with it this time. He hasn't been super Baneling focused, and honestly, the games where he has made Banelings they haven't gone particularly well, so maybe he's right not to be Baneling focused. Quanta's gonna move across the map. Ooh, a Raven. I don't think we've seen a Raven at all in this series. See if he can get some damage done with the Hellion Cyclone Raven combination here. There are a lot of Lings coming up for the surround on the backside. They're a little late to the party, but the Queens, looks like 2 of them are gonna go down. The Lings get a beautiful surround on everything else though, and down it all goes. Killing the Queens is nice, but I think losing your entire ground army. No, a Cyclone rallied across. Is not particularly ideal. Liberator in the main gets dealt with. Oh, the armory in the wall. Very interesting. Quanta's going to be able to defend back at home, but with such a low unit count, it's going to be a little bit tougher to take the third comfortably. Mio, in the meantime, taking the 4th at the gold base. Cute stuff. Lair starts up for him as well. I imagine he'll be heading towards Hydras. It feels like a very late lair, though. We're 6 minutes in. Some of the other games, there was a lair done, and the Hydra Cavern, Hydra Den, rather, started at like 4 minutes. But this game, a little bit more focused on the Ling opening here. The infamous Mio fast 1-1, yeah. Oh, and now look at that. The +1 missile attacks because his lair's not done, so he can't get +2 started. But I'm sure he's going to be putting down a Hydra Den fairly soon. Oh, actually a Roach Warren. Oh, that's surprising. Surprising. You don't usually see a Roach Warren from Mio. Oh, no, the Lings! The door! Open again. And this has actually killed Quanta already in this series. The door being open at a bad time. This one's just going to be a little bit of SCV damage, not too much. A couple of Lings will be able to escape, it looks like, or they won't. But still very annoying. But still. Mew, in the meantime, starting up Roach speed and 16 Roaches. And he is going to be pushing across the map with Roach Ling. Not a lot of Lings left, actually. It's going to be mostly Roaches. But with +2 melee on the way, I feel like it's going to be a Ling follow-up. Got that +1 Carapace already done. And +1 missile attacks getting very close here. Lings will be very helpful against the Siege Tank, but doesn't seem like there's a lot out for Quanta. He's got his Hellions and Cyclones down here. Blue Flame is done. Doesn't particularly help against the Roaches. And oh no, the Roaches! Gonna catch some of these units. The lack of Roach speed here actually saving Quanta for now. Hellions go back in, though, and a few of them going to go down for nothing. The amount of Roaches is scouted. I think we need to see more tanks. More tanks coming down. There's one more. Another 2 on the way. That Cyclone upgrade done as well. Hurricane Thruster is going to make those Cyclones a little bit speedier, a little bit more microable. Roaches are coming across. Speed is about to finish. There are quite a few Roaches out on the map. 37 of them. But no Ravagers, so no ability to bile down these tanks. Mio might have to split around and try to come up this side, but no, he's just going to go for it. Just diving in while the tanks shell away. Ling's coming in to follow up, but there's still Hellbats here with Blue Flame. Ooh, and a bunch of Widow Mines out now as well. Ooh, our Ravagers would be very useful. At the same time, the Hellions dive in. And it looks like they're just going to get taken care of. No issue there. Ling's diving forward, getting on top of this. Widowmine's going off on the Roaches. Oh my god, these Roaches are getting blasted. Roaches from the south side a little late to the party. Oh no, Mio. Oh god, the humanity. And already 32 Roaches have died. That is insane. These tanks getting some huge connections. This one has 15 kills. Some big Widowmine hits as well, just softening those Roaches up. Why you don't push into 4 or 5 siege tanks with Roaches. And now Mio put a lot into that that army a lot into that push. Traded horrifically. And is now down workers, finally catching up a little bit, trying to take these extra bases and tech up to a hive. But, I mean, Quanta's got to be feeling like he is chilling right now. Hellions do get found by the Lings, but they're blue flame, so, you know, still not great for them. Oh, man. Don't push up there, Mio. Don't do it. Scans and sees the army. All right, the Lings do clean up the Hellions. This is so many Widow Mines. What's the Widow Mine count at right now? There are 8 mines on the field. That is dangerous. Danger, Will Robinson. Oh, Mio's going to try to go in again. I don't know about this. Hellian's a little late to the party. One of the tanks goes down, but oh, there's just so many tanks. And the roaches have to run away. They just can't chill here. And that was another fight that I just don't think was worth it for Meomaika. I mean, the resources traded hasn't gotten too much worse for him. Finally, some Ravagers morphing. But there might just be too many tanks here. His hive is done. Why does he not just wait for Vipers? He's going to try to bile down some tanks. Takes down one. Whoa, these tanks are all bunched up. Could we see some biles in the middle of them? Or he's just going to run forward. Meomaika brazenly trying to take these tanks down. It's still so dicey, but he might be able to do it. Just a few units split off the friendly fire from the tanks on the Lings. Very painful as well. 21 SCVs going down. Finally, Mio getting some damage done, taking a decent trade. AT Racer, thank you. ATC Racer, excuse me. Missing letters in there. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope you had a lovely stream. We are close to the end of this best of 11 between Meomaika and Quanta. Mio is on match point, but Quanta won the last game, and Mio has been just throwing away roaches in this game. He has lost 60 roaches and 212 Lings. And oh my god, no, there's so many Widow Mines. Oh, Jesus. Some good splits in there, but man, there's a lot of Widow Mines and no detection. Mio, though, he doesn't care. He has no cares in the world. He doesn't like his units. He doesn't want them to live or survive. And he just runs forward. That was a terrible trade. And Mio's supply is way down. He has a lot of money, though. He can replenish. That's what he was waiting for. Waiting for the Ultra Cavern to finish up. 5 Ultras on the way. Is this good? I mean, there's no ghosts, so kinda. Ultras are pretty good. Have a great long as fuck stream. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. We have another best of 11 after this waiting for us. And then after that, I'll probably try to cover what's left of EPT Korea. It's been a good stream so far. This is the OSC 24-hour marathon of OSC content. We covered some mid-season playoffs as well as these show matches. We're not doing the whole 24 hours, though. That was covered by a lot of other lovely people. But shout out to OSC. This is a fundraiser for their World Championships to help give money back to the StarCraft community. If you want to support it, exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. But right now, Mio's going to try to dive in on top of this with Ling, Ultra, Roach, Ravager. The Thor's body blocking. This Ultra not really helping out too much. Is it going to matter, though? Quanta's supply is plummeting. But hold the phone. The Ultras are dying. There's still tanks left alive, but they have no support. The Lings could get on top of them, or they could just not and go for the Thor instead. Thor gets lifted. Look at the micro. 22 more SCVs going down, but the army supply is still pretty similar here. Mio losing his whole army again. Taking not a terrible trade there, honestly. The resources lost, staying pretty even to what it was earlier. Quanta continues to hold, which is insane, by the way. But it is the case here. Now there's Thors and Hellbats out. Lings have to be careful. Why not a single Viper has been made? I couldn't tell you. Vipers here would be so insanely good because there's no ghosts in this army. There are a lot of Widow Mines, though. Trying to trigger them on just the Lings. Most of the mines getting triggered on those Lings. Overseer gets taken down, so no detection for the Widow Mines. The Thors and Hellbats coming down from the north side. I remember when Thor Hellbat was good, and apparently against Mio, still pretty valid composition. Mio allergic to making energy units because I feel like Vipers and or Infestors could be actually so goated here. 20 more SCVs go down. Quanta down to 38 workers. Now he does have quite a few mules, so he's going to be able to have a decent economy still, but I don't know. If Quanta's able to get up to like a max situation on 40 or 50 workers, that's a big if, though, as Mio's coming in on multiple sides, waiting for the Hellbats to run away, coming in here, killing more SCVs, forcing the lift, getting on top of some of these tanks as well. So much friendly fire going on. The Lings will get cleaned up, but Mio is now 60 supply ahead. He's on a fantastic economy for once in his life on 82 drones. I think it's the first time in this series he's gotten above 70 drones. And he's just going to be able to keep on running in. The trades no longer need to be even. Mio can trade poorly here. He's at double the worker count. The Marines trying to come in and see what's going on. Mio does kind of have to keep the pressure up, though. If this mech army gets too big, it's going to be too much to handle. I don't know if I like this engagement. He's fighting right into where all the army is. But he's reinforcing with Lings. Yeah, that one wasn't great. That wasn't great. The trades were very, very bad on that one. I liked his move earlier where he like poked in one area and then hit with the Lings on another. I think he needs to do more of that. We don't have any planetaries here. I think the Lings need to be a big factor in this. God, the Widow has 34 kills. All right, this one's only at 7. Lings getting a few kills here. They are on 3-3 with Adrenal, so they will just tear through a mineral line. Mio, in the meantime, has taken every single base on his side of the map. Finally! Oh my god, he made them. We are 17 and a half minutes into this game against Mech. The Vipers have started. Viper's a crucial unit in this matchup, in this situation. With no Ghosts and no Vikings out for Quanta, the Vipers are going to be very powerful and very hard to stop. The Thors can target them down and actually will automatically target them because they're flying energy units. But usually the Vipers can get their spells off first. And Blinding Clouds over these clunky, big units that are trying to just get around each other, and they're just kind of, I don't know, they're tough to micro. Like 2 or 3 Blinding Clouds on those, and they just do nothing. Whew. All right, this would have mine up to 21 kills, but a few Lings still get through. Quanta's army supply is increasing. He's almost at 100 army supply here. It's a very powerful army, lots of tanks. 8 tanks, 4 Thors, Hellions, and Hellbats. But Mio says, I'm going in anyways. He's going to get some yoinks on some of these Thors and some guaranteed kills. Nice pickup on one of those Thors there. Also, that turret getting a lot of kills. I think the Vipers all died. They got their spells up, but they did fall. Mio continuing to push, though. Oh, no. Quanta under 100 supply. His army supply is still at 50. He's doing his best with the micro, but he's lost 19 more SCVs. And I don't know how much longer he can do this. Ultra's trying to get into the main base. Looks like they are going to get taken down. Quanta holds on. The fact that he's still alive is insane. He is traded so much better. Mio, if he just gathered these forces for like 4 seconds, he'd win. I think he's going to win anyways, though. He's killing the last of these tanks. This base is now going down. There's just no defense over here anymore. It's a couple of Widow Mines, and that is it. And finally, after 19 minutes, the GG gets called. Mio seals the deal on that game, bashed his head into the wall until his head won. And he wins not only that game, but the entire best of 11 series. GG. Meomaika